few days ago, a special court in Bengaluru ruled that jewellery worth crores seized during the case against Jayalalithaa should be returned to the Tamil Nadu government. Now, the court also ordered the government to pay 5 crore in compensation to Karnataka for the expenses in conducting the disproportionate assets case. Joining us on the line from Bengaluru is my colleague Vajihullah, who's been tracking this case, and my colleague Kartikeya Sharma. Gentlemen, welcome to the News 9 Plus show. Vaji, gold, diamonds, rubies, emeralds, totaling 468 items, a 1.5 kilo gold belt with 2,389 diamonds and 18 emeralds. I mean, what's going on? Where is this all kept? Is this in the treasury of the government, or how long has this been hidden?
Well, this has been lying with the Vigilance Department of the CID, and it's been there since the disproportionate asset case came into light.
Right.
Now, Jaya was somebody who Jaya was a 14 year. She was the chief minister for 14 years of Tamil Nadu, and the disproportionate asset case, which brought her to the courts, which happened in 1996.
Right.
During that time, the CID had seized a lot of properties, including her post garden house, the Kodanad estate, and the gold jewelries and everything that she had, and it came up to 2,200 crores, a whopping 2,200 crores. If we do a conservative estimate of that today, now these properties have been lying with the Vigilance Department, and recently a special court in Bengaluru had said that this should be given to the Tamil Nadu government, and the Tamil Nadu government should give Karnataka government 5 crores for the expenses it incurred during the hearing of that case. Now there is a little, now we have a little idea about what will happen to the property, but all this while the properties of Jayalalithaa were seized by the authorities. So far, her nephew and niece, Deepa and Deepak, have been given the post garden house, but the rest of the properties have not been handed to them because the court says that these were Jayalalithaa got these through illegal means by cheating the state. So this cannot be handed over to them.
So Kartikeya, this is a very interesting thing. You know, this entire disproportionate assets case, we talk about it today, there are ED raids on corrupt chief ministers, but this is literally the case that redefined political corruption in India, right? Jayalalitha's.
You know, the disproportionate asset case, I would say, is important because, you know, you could pin down an important politician like Jayalalithaa. It is inconceivable 5 years ago for anyone to say that, well, you know, we are going to go after someone like Karnataka, or we're going to go after MGR, we're going to go after Jayalalithaa. They were not popular, but they were also powerful politicians. They not only controlled their parties, but they could sway a segment of civil society. And such was the, and such is the characteristic of the Tamil politics, that, you know, you have the cadres having a say in newspaper union mill. So, you know, the power pervades in various civil society institutions. But the difference between the ED raids and the way this disproportionate asset case happened is, it took place over a period of time. Unlike ED, where the politicians are whisked away in a matter of weeks or days or a month, I'm not using the word months, this took years. It happened after a long time. And thirdly, there was transparency. ED allows the government or the people who are investigating the case to do things as they want to, because the onus to prove yourself innocent is with the victim. It's not with the ED. ED has to charge you, you have to prove yourself innocent. But she went through a very normal process of law, in which lower court, upper court, to and fro, the documents in public, write-ups. You know, do you have write-ups, for example, on Hemant Soren? Has anyone gone through the details of those cases? Because it's not like that. You know, there is no civil court.
Nothing is in the public domain.
There is no civil court involved. You know, there is a way you report a corruption case in a civil court. You can write it like that, the way 2G was reported. The way a coal scam was reported, you know.
There are a lot of people. Documents out in the public domain.
But ED is a different, it's a different beast altogether. And the cases are very different. So I would say that JAYA'S case also proved a point that, you know, powerful politicians can be tried. They can be brought to books. You know, no one is untouchable.
No one's untouchable.
ED on the other hand has become politicized because opposition politicians are involved. But then, you know, when I was interviewing Prakash Javadekar, day before yesterday, he said for him the biggest takeaway is that in the third tenure, not only there be more raids, but the action would be quicker, conviction rate would be higher.
Right. That's a promise.
He said that's the biggest takeaway of the PM speech.
Right.
In the parliament,
yes.
Higher conviction,
right.
And quick trial,
right.
and more raids.
More raids. My God. More
raids. Corruption ke issue pe everyone will be taken to task.
Everyone will be taken to task. But Vaji, since you're there in the south, JAYA'S confidant Sasikala laid a foundation stone for this memorial for Amma near the Kodanad estate bungalow. Now, Kodanad estate is another big fascinating aspect of JAYA'S political career. The fact that you could fit 3 Vatican cities in the Kodanad estate, this gigantic thing. What's the status of that coffee plantation that she owned?
Well, Kodanad estate was first taken by George in 1976, and after that it passed on to a lot of hands. And in 1991, when Jaya became the chief minister, is when she really liked the Kodanad estate, and she asked Sasikala to buy it. So 1997, at the tune of 7 crores, the Kodanad estate exchanged hand to an unknown person.
Yeah.
And after a few years, Jayalalithaa had the possession of the Kodanad estate, which today is a whopping 700 to 800, 1,200 crores, I suppose. That could be the
over
price of that acre.
Right.
And yeah, over 1,000 crores, exactly. And the Kodanad estate is a huge coffee tea estate, and what we see over there right now is it is seized by the government, the CID especially.
Right.
But the work is still going on. So
yes.
the work that's going on in the estate and the economics and the money that comes out from the coffee estate goes to the government. So the government has the charges of the Kodanad estate. Though Deepa and Deepak had staked claim for the estate, but the court in the special court in its hearing had said
right.
that the estate cannot be handed over to the nephew and the niece, though they are class 2 heirs of Jayalalithaa.
Right.
Only the house can be given to them, but other properties,
the post garden
jewelries
house
cannot be handed
right.
over to them. Yes.
So it's run by the government.
In the house.
Yeah, but can't
yes.
this? What happens? I mean, while we are talking about all the properties that Jaya had and which is now in various hands, it's become state property, and I'm sure that all these, gold and diamonds and rubies will be in some state museum, if not in a go down. But what happens to her biggest legacy, which is the AIADMK, which she inherited from her mentor?
Actually, that's the key question. It should worry. It should be a cause of worry for people who do not create second line of leadership properly. Now, you see, there's a problem with Dynasty because it's not the end thing.
Yeah.
But Dynasty in regional setup also provides stability.
Yeah.
You peter away slowly. For example, TDP.
Yeah.
The son is not as charismatic as Chandrababu Naidu.
Yeah.
But then he can take over the party and run it without any rebellion.
Yes.
He can survive 5 years, 10 years, even 15 years.
Yeah.
Like Akhilesh can survive with his 108 MLAs for next 10 years also, till he becomes irrelevant.
Right.
Like Chaudhry Charan Singh, Ajit Singh, Jayant Chaudhry.
Jayant.
But then if you do not create leadership and if you have not a dynasty, you are a single, then you have a problem like this. For example, the party disintegrates.
Right.
Because it has not created institutions
Absolutely.
within the party.
Yeah.
Now, Naveen Babu's party.
Yes.
Do you expect an IAS officer to succeed him? No, it's not possible. No. Once Naveen is out of that political stage, the knives will be out.
Yes.
Or for example, what happens in JDU.
Right.
But then DMK, despite being out of power for so many years, it could come back.
It could.
Jagan's party. Now, if you look at the party of Uddhav Thackeray, Bal Thackeray's party, status has dwindled. But another dynasty has started.
Yes.
Eknath Shinde's son is in Lok Sabha.
Absolutely.
He's in Lok Sabha. So I would say that, family, sociologically, family is a vehicle of social mobility.
Yes.
In Anglo-Saxon society, families are not used for social mobility.
Right.
In South Asian cultures, they are modes of social mobility.
Right.
So it's a different. Now there is a problematic side to it because the coffers of these regional parties are so big that the families want to control them.
Yes.
In 70s, mergers could take place. Hota kitna paisa tha? 1 crore, 2 crore. Now, can you imagine SP merging with JDU? The coffers would have like 400 to 500 crore rupees.
Right.
Who would let go of that money?
That's right. So it's a power base, it's a
because
power center.
Because that money sustains the lifestyle of important politicians.
Absolutely. But so what happens to AIADMK? Already you're hearing a lot of politicians have been drifting away towards the BJP.
BJP wanted to, first of all, they had a lot of plans, wanted to come close to
Right,
ADMK.
right.
Then they wanted to consume a part of
Yes.
ADMK, which they did in last 24 hours.
Yes.
Or they wanted to take the place of ADMK.
Right.
So that's what happens in organized parties.
Right.
So basic problem with ADMK is that there is no charismatic leadership.
Yes.
And there is no outsider right now who's claiming it to be its own. That is
Right.
one problem. But I think the larger issue is that they have to deal with a very entrenched family politics of DMK.
Right.
So only an outsider can break it now.
Right.
Someone who takes over ADMK,
Yeah.
like an MGR,
Right.
and then gate crashes DMK's party.
Yes.
There is no one to gate crash DMK's party. That is the problem.
Right.
Like Eknath Shinde gate crashed Uddhav Thakere's
Yeah,
party.
so he's
He
an
said,
insider,
मेरी party है,
ultimate
मैं
insider.
हूँ auto rickshaw वाला,
Right.
मैं लेके जाऊँगा. That's a
Yes.
different story. He also has a farmhouse where strawberries are grown and there's a helipad. But it's the picture in the mind of people that matters.
Yes, it's a picture in the mind of the people that matters, and of course the picture that came from Tamil Nadu that we saw many years ago, the gold, the diamonds and the rubies that Vaji has just told us about, which is the government has asked to transfer to Tamil Nadu and of course pay that compensation. But as Karthikeya mentioned, the bigger legacy of Jayalalithaa is her party that she inherited from her mentor MGR. The AIADMK, what happens to it? We know what happens to the gold and the rubies and the thing. We really don't know what's going to happen to the MGR and Jayalalithaa driven AIADMK. That will be the story of the Tamil Nadu politics for the next couple of years. You can watch our special story on Jaya's jinxed millions only on the News 9 Plus app. Download and watch.
Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.